Alright, in today's video I'm going to be going over how to install an NMEA network on a Yamaha F-Series Outboard. This is an F70 sitting on my Montauk 17, actually a Classic Montauk, but I will be going over how to install the NMEA network and showing you the different components that I have used for this, and there'll be links to them in the description below. But before I do that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is to run the NMEA cable back to the engine and to the console. Now, getting it through the spiral tubing that I used for the rigging tube was a bit of a challenge, as you can see here, but we finally got that done. Got the connector into the engine, which is another bit of a challenge, but again, we got it there. Having done that, there's two specific connectors we need to worry about within the engine. One of them is the actual NMEA connector, and the other one has to do with the tilt and trim. Let me go ahead and show you a few clips that show you where those connectors are and what you need to do in terms of getting them connected. We got the NMEA cable run back here. For those of you that are wondering where the location is, it's the very front of the engine. In this case, this F70, 2015 F70, it's tied into here. And all you got to do is disconnect that cable and plug the NMEA cable to that white connector. It's only 2 wires. It's got 4 plugs. And there you go. We've got the NMEA connector. Now we're going to run the cable to the front, get power into all the systems that need it, especially the NMEA system, and see how this all works. So one other thing you need to consider is your tilt and trim. If you want NMEA to send signals about tilt and trim, you have to actually connect these two together. So you'll find it in the front of the engine, pretty close to the NMEA connector. And let me take this yellow tape off, if I can find the end of it. And as far as I know, I believe that all of these have this sticky, nasty yellow tape on them. Now, I already tapped into this once for the analog tilt and trim. So you can see this red cable is actually tapped into here. But what we want to do is take these connector ends off. Actually, once you get the sticky stuff all over your hands, you can't grab anything, apparently. And again, they're basically 2 pink wires, and that comes from the sender unit from the tilt and trim. And we'll connect this together, and as I've been told, you either have one or the other, but I've also heard from other people that have done this, that their NMEA output and their analog output to their analog gauge work. So that's that. I'm going to save these for the future. Probably never use them again, but just a good practice to save these things. Alright, on to other things. Now, I did do a separate video on how to build an NMEA network. You can look at it here. It basically goes over the components that you need to do an NMEA network and how to put them together. So here's a link to that video. And by the way, all the components listed in the video are in the description down below. I have links to them, so if you need, you can go look at them there. So getting this into the console was a little bit of a challenge. My fat ass is as big front to back as it is side to side. So it was a little bit of a challenge to me. There's not a lot of room in these Classic Montauks, but I was able to get it connected and at least get the little bus, if you will, attached to the bottom side of the top of the console, as you can see here. And the reason for that is, well, there's a lot going on in this console. I'll be honest with you, it's kind of difficult to work on these, and hopefully this is the last bit of electrical piece that I'll do on it. But you can see that what we have here is all cabled up. It's neat. Thankfully, my son Joseph was able to squeeze his butt in there, and he did all the cable ties and cable routing, so thanks. So I already have a Raymarine Element 9. I'm going to be adding the Lowrance HDS-7, and I'll be using that strictly for engine data. Why? Long story, the Lowrance HDS-7 cost me nothing, basically. I got it for free. It's in great functional condition. I'm not even going to hook up a transponder to it. Just going to use it for engine data. And as to why, it's because I can, and it's kind of fun to do stuff like this. Now, I will be using a Bass Pro bow mount And the reason I'm doing this is I can set the Lowrance unit a little bit behind and above the Element 9 that I have in here. As far as power, I may not want to use the Lowrance unit all the time. So what I'm doing is I'm wiring the NMEA 12 volt power supply or power feed to the same switch that's feeding the Element 9. That way at least I'll have NMEA and Element 9 at any given time. And if I want, I can turn the switch for the Lowrance unit on when I need it or want to use it. And yeah, here's basically a view of the two switches. The one on the left is the Raymarine Element 9, the one on the right is the Lowrance HDS-7. Alright, so I have everything connected. This video would not be complete if I didn't show you what it looked like with the engine running. So here's a few shots of the engine running and the kind of data that we're seeing here. So one of the things I like about this gauge, it's going to give us miles to the gallon. Kind of an interesting metric in terms of you know what your fuel burn rate is. Speed over ground should be based on GPS. I'm waiting to see if I get a temp on the engine water temp. Yeah, I'm getting it on both, so it seems like the Lowrance is a little bit more complete. Now, one thing of note, for Yamaha engines, there's a certain amount of metrics that they do support on NMEA. Here's a snapshot that I was able to pull offline, and hopefully this will be helpful to you if you're working on a Yamaha engine. But basically, these are the metrics that are supported from Yamaha engines in an NMEA network. On a quick note, I will mention that the tilt and trim appears to be okay on the analog side, but it is very erratic on the digital side. So there's a reason, I guess, that Yamaha has split those off and tells you to use one or the other. I'm going to be disconnecting the digital one and just using the analog, and I trust it. I'm quite used to it, actually. So one of the things I'll be doing is remapping some of the gauges that are on the Lowrance to basically things that I need. I noticed that engine hours is not on there. If I can, I'll fit it onto that gauge, or I'll just create a whole new panel with all the gauges that I am interested in. So I really like the Lowrance for that. In any event, I hope this video has been helpful to you, and if it has, hit share and like. And before I sign off, here's a reintroduction to Boat Kitty. This is Baby. She's made guest appearances in some of our earlier videos. She's getting on in years, but she's a diluted tortie with an attitude, but she's just gotten very sweet in her older age. And she decided to pop in on this video as well. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, hit share and like, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.